Hello there, it is Erica Shante, and I'm back with another subject. And today I wanted to talk about medical tourism and my experience with it. I necessarily never really thought about it for me. I've heard about it, I've read about it a little bit, but it's something I just kind of grazed over and didn't pay much attention to until I needed it for myself. So I'm about to get into that. Yeah, I'm gonna go directly through it. I think on one sitting, just kind of like trying to go straight through it fast. See, I'm already talking too much. But anyway, I just want to run through the specific things that I did, what brought me to this point, how I found like the dentist, because I got dental work done, and just my experience with it. And this will be very much so not detail oriented. I'll tell you where I went, who I spoke with. You can find a lot of details. If you have any questions, I'll make a follow-up video on that. All right, so let's get into it. How I got to this point. I was having pain in my tooth. It was something that I knew I needed to deal with, honestly, a year before. But I was just like, oh, okay, let me kind of put it off. And time flies, honestly. It's not that I intended to put it off that long, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel pain. And it was giving me headaches, and I just couldn't bear with it anymore. So I decided to go to an emergency dentistry in Atlanta. They scanned me. It was a really nice space. They scanned me. I didn't have dental insurance because last year when I did have it, the math wasn't math. And for me as an entrepreneur, I was just paying dental insurance out of pocket. And honestly, it wasn't worth it for me. Maybe I need more research. But anywho, it's not about that. So I paid out of pocket for the scans, the emergency dental, and then I was referred to an endodontist. I think it's endodontist, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, it is endodontist. Endodontist, someone who specializes in like root canals, I believe. So I went there and I spent $1,900 and something on one tooth, and I needed a little bit more work done than that. So after being able to pay for one, I was just like, it has to be another way. Like, I understand that dentists definitely need to be paid a certain amount. And of course, they change lives. Again, I couldn't live with this pain anymore. But for me, that was a lot for me. So I wanted to look at different routes. Honestly, I'm a proponent of talking about things, not in depth, but like with close friends of mine. I'm like, hey, I'm going through this. And one of my friends said, hey, like, have you thought of maybe going to Mexico City? And I was like, you know what? No, I didn't think about that. Like, I've heard of dental tourism, I heard of medical tourism, but I just never really looked into it for myself. So that was a great, light bulb switch turn on for me. So I started doing some research. So after doing some research online, I was initially going to go to Puerto Rico, found some things on that, but I found this place called Medical Tourism Corporation, and I saw their videos pop up. I looked at their ratings, I see the reviews, and I'm like, okay, I think it's based in Texas. And I gave them a call, and they called me back. One woman helped me from start to finish. I would like to say that. The customer service was great. They were on board helping me find dentists in Puerto Rico when I wanted to go to Puerto Rico. But as I continued doing my research, even though I was in communication with Medical Tourism Corporation, I found this place called Cancun Dental Specialist in Cancun, which I didn't think I liked the city at all the first time I went. But that's besides the point. But their reviews were great. They had video content. They had smiles. Like, they just seemed like a very lively and technologically savvy space. And the reviews looked like they were from real people and things of that nature. So I asked Medical Tourism Corporation about them, and they said, yeah, that's one of our partners. So with that being said, they transferred me over to Cancun dental specialist. One guy helped me from start to my time there, booking my first appointment. They were just very kind throughout the process, so I felt very safe. One thing I will say, I have a little notes here just so I won't jump around. But I did some research. I felt safe. They were responsive. And the same people helped me from start to finish. Let's see. Yeah, so they offered like transportation to and from the airport. I was a little skeptical, so I didn't really want to tell them to pick me up from the airport just because you hear stories about Cancun and things like that. But they didn't give those vibes at all. But I got transportation to my hostel. I stayed in a hostel just because it was my first solo abroad travel, and I just wanted to stay somewhere with other people. And it was a nice hostel. Nomads experience. They have some pretty cool, pretty decent, cool spaces, and I felt like the people who stayed in the one that I stayed in, the vibes are right. It was like mostly 25 and up, a chill vibe. Everybody was like respectful and quiet, and they have curtains to separate. So it was a good time. I met some great people. What else am I saying? Oh, when I went there, my first dental appointment, they have very advanced technology, more advanced than I've seen here. Maybe they didn't whip it out for me or whatever, but they like 3D scanned my teeth to where it's on the screens. They had a screen on the ceiling when I lean back so they can really show what's going on. And they have the 360 scanning system. And it was just very nice. Like they kind of held my hand through the process. Like the team seemed like they actually wanted to be there. I don't know if it was just my experience. I've been to a lot of good dentists here in Atlanta, but it just seems inviting. It seems like an experience. Like it seems like, yeah, I'm on dentication, and you're really welcoming me in the space. And I felt very safe because I'm already like traveling solo. I'm already, doing something outside of my comfort zone. And for them to be very kind and patient and answering any questions that I had, it really like meant a lot to me. But yeah, they were very professional. Pricing wise, again, like I told you, I spent $1,900 something, not even with the temporary crown, just a root canal with a little fill-in that lasted about, they said, a few weeks. And there I got one root canal, one retreatment from years ago, and 3 temporary crowns. I wanted to break it up that way because budget wise, I was like, yeah, not the permanent crowns just yet. I'll come back for that, and then maybe come back for some other more so like aesthetic things that I want, or just a plan for the future of my teeth. All right, so I just got my first procedure done. So now that's why my mouth is here. But I actually have three more appointments today, or 3 total, or something like that. So I think they're getting most of the things done today, so my healing process can start. So the first thing took about 30 minutes even. They just needed to expose some bone or whatever. But I feel comfortable and safe here, so yeah, I'll give you an update. So I think that's a space where they really care about where you are now in your journey, but they're also thinking about 10, 20 years down the line. And that's something I really value about what they were doing, which again, maybe because I was younger, but I really didn't get that type of care where they're thinking about the longevity of my oral health. So I highly recommend it. That's my experience. I got all of that done for it was $1,500. So $1,900, like closer to $2,000 for 1 root canal, no temporary crowns, whatever. And then I got 1 root canal, 1 retreatment, and 3 temporary crowns. And they did some other procedure. I think they had to do a bonus extension for $1,500. And I just think that's a steal. Well, it's not a steal, but it's just, the dollar value and whatnot, or however and whatever the reason is and why it's cheap. I really appreciate how human they made me feel, how human, how special, and they were very individualistic. Like they knew the names of people who were returning. And yeah, customer service I think is kind of slept on in those type of spaces, because it's just like, you need me, you're gonna come anyway. But to feel welcomed during like something that's a necessity where I'm like not going anywhere else anyway, that was amazing. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I just really wanted to share that because I really didn't know. I was kind of nervous at first, but after a while I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. And if someone's that like of a mastermind to like kidnap me, because I did think about that, like to bring me in a dentist's office to kidnap me with all these reviews, I meant they can have me at that point. But no, I'm just joking. I hope that doesn't happen. But like, I just had faith, really. I prayed about it. I talked to my family about it. I sent them my itinerary, and I had service, and they knew where I was at all times. But yeah, let me know if you have had a dentication or have done any medical tourism. I would love to hear about it. And yeah, let's get it.